Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashi Agarwal. I welcome you all. Hopefully you all are safe and healthy. Today we are going to do a very important topic which is nature and scope of economics under the subject microeconomics. It's written note they will be available at my blog. Even the lecture will also be available in Hindi at my second channel, that is Shashi Agarwal Economics and Law Classes. First of all, we will understand what is the meaning of economics. All human beings, they have unlimited desires, but we have limited sources. So economics is the study of those activities of the human beings which are concerned with the allocation of the limited sources to satisfy our unlimited wants. Economics is a subject which studies those activities of the man. The objective is to get the maximum satisfaction or the promotion of maximum welfare and economic growth. And economic explain us how we are going to get the maximum satisfaction, how we are going to get the maximum welfare and economic growth by the efficient consumption, production and exchange of the limited resources which have alternative uses. So what is the meaning of economics? Economics is derived from the Greek word oikonomia, which can be divided into two parts. Oikio, which means house, and nemen, which means management. So management of household with funds, and this is very important because it means earlier economics was concerned with the management of household. It means the people, they are having limited funds, how they are going to manage their household. Economics is a science. Economics is a social science, and it is the study of the human behavior which is concerned with the allocation of the limited resources to get the maximum satisfaction. So what is the scope of the economics? Scope means what is covered under the economics. J.N. Keynes in his book The Scope and Method of Economics had included the subject matter of the economics. Economics, the meaning of what is the economics, what are we are going to study under economics, and what is the nature, whether it's a science, whether it's a art or both, whether it's a, if it is science, is it positive science, is it normative science, and what are the limitation of the economics. Mrs. Wooten says, wherever 6 economists gathered, there will be 7 opinions, because every economist will define economics in different ways. According to Aristotle, economics is the management of state and household. Economics is a social science, classified body of knowledge concerning human relationship clustered about man's effort to earn living. Economics is a social science which studies the economic activities of the man, how he is going to earn his living. The origin of subject could be traced to the work of Greek philosopher Aristotle, who confined the study of economics to the study of economics to the household. Adam Smith, who is known as the father of the economics. Adam Smith, in 1776, he laid down the strong foundation for the growth of economics in his book Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of the Nation. In economics, we are going to study those activities which are concerned with the production, consumption, and exchange of the wealth. Adam Smith is called the father of economics. Adam Smith, economics is an inquiry into the nature and the causes of the wealth of nation. Wealth of, how we are going to increase the wealth of the nation, how we are going to increase the prosperity of the nation. The spirit of inquiry is reflected in the writing of the successor like J.B. Say, J.S. Mill, W.S. Jevons. According to J.S. Mill, economics investigate the nature of the wealth, law of production and distribution. The objective is to create more wealth, and it was criticized by many economists. So there was a new definition that was given by the new classical economist, that is the welfare definition, Marshall, J.S. Mill, P. Buchanan. They have included in the scope of economics those activities of the man which are undertaken to acquire the material goods. The objective is to promote the welfare of the human beings. The Marshall has written the book The Principle of Economics. Marshall, economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. He studies the activities of those men who are living in the society, and it is closely connected with the attainment and the use of material goods for the increasing the welfare of the human being. And scarcity definition, Manger, Peter and English economist Stigler expressed their views but examined in detail by Professor Robin his book An Essay on the Nature and Significance of Economic Science in 1932. According to Lord Robbins, we have limited sources which have alternative uses. Which have alternative uses means which could be used in other uses also. But we have to decide in which use we are going to use that thing. Economic is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between the ends which are unlimited and the sources which are limited. How we are going to use the limited sources among competing ends so that we should have the maximum satisfaction. According to Lord Robbins, those efforts of the human being which they undertake are to acquire the limited sources, but which we have limited sources. Like I have 10,000 in my pocket, and 10,000 I could visit to a hill station, I could deposit in the form of FDR, I could purchase some gold jewelry, I could purchase some jewelry, I could make some renovation in my house. So I have limited sources. I have only 10,000 in my pocket, but which have alternative uses. So according to Lord Robbins, how I am going to use the limited sources to satisfy my unlimited wants. So there is a circle. We have unlimited wants, and we make efforts and we generate wealth to satisfy. This is the economic circle. As soon as we satisfy the one want, there is another want. The circle goes on. Economic circle, which is the beginning and end of the subject matter of the economics. Modern age is the age of the economic growth. Main objective is to increase the social welfare, improve the standard of living by removing the poverty, unemployment, inequality of wealth. Professor Samuelson defined economics on the basis of growth aspect. According to Samuelson, Boulding, Leftwich, the subject matter, the boundary of the economics. For the subject of economics, we study the economic activities, we study the economic system, we study the economic policies. Economic activities are of two types, economic activities and non-economic activities, but under economics we study economic activities. Economic activities means those activities which are concerned with the production, distribution, consumption and exchange of the goods and services. So economics is concerned with the study of economic activities. So under economic activity, we see what are the kinds of economic activity and what is the objective behind these economic activities. Economic activities are of many types. There is a consumption, production, exchange. Under exchange, how we are going to fix the price, and factor pricing is the distribution, how we are going to distribute the national income in the form of rent to the land, wages to the labor, interest to the capital and profit to the entrepreneur. Consumption means use of economic goods and services to satisfy our requirement. Production means that is concerned with the increasing of the utility. Here we are converting the raw material into the finished goods, and we are creating utility by transforming raw material into finished products. And here we are utilizing the factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, enterprise and organization. Exchange means buying and selling of the goods. Here we are going to determine under different market structure like monopolies, there monopolistic competition, perfect competition, how we are going to determine the price under monopoly or perfect competition or monopolistic competition, and how we are going to pay, how we are going to distribute the national income among the different factors of production. If there is a land, how we are going to make payment of rent to the land, wages to the labor, interest to the capital, and the profit to the entrepreneur. So what is the objective of economic activities? According to Ragnar Frisch, proper allocation of the resources. We have limited sources which have alternative uses, so they should be properly allocating among the different competing ends. So how we are going to efficient use of the resources? Proper allocation of the resources is the concern of the study of microeconomics. Efficient use is covered under macroeconomics. So according to Ragnar Frisch, economics is of two types, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now we will understand what is the meaning of microeconomics. Microeconomics borrowed from the Greek word micro, which means small. According to Watson, microeconomics is the theory of small of the behavior of the consumer, producer and the market. Under microeconomics, the subject matter of the study is individual units, consumer, household, firm and industry. It analyzes the way in which the decisions are taken by the economic agent that is related with the allocation of the limited sources. And it also studies consumer behavior, product pricing, firms behavior and factor price. Under microeconomics, we study the theory of demand, theory of production, production function, price determination, factor pricing and the economic welfare. So what is the meaning of macroeconomics? As microeconomics studies the micro means small, macro means large, which is taken from the Greek word macros. So here under macroeconomics we are going to study of aggregates and average. Here we are going to see the economic problem from the point of view of the entire economy, that is the total output, total saving, total consumption. Microeconomics, the more importance is given to the price determination. It is also known as a price theory, and macroeconomics is concerned with the determination of the income as a whole. For the subject of macroeconomics, we are going to, because here we are concerned with the we are studying the economy as a whole. We are focusing on the aggregate and the averages. So we are going to study the national income, aggregate consumption, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, full employment, price level, international trade, public finance, money and banking institutions, economic growth, trade cycle, macro theory of distribution. Economic system. What? Capitalism. Under capitalism, price is determined on the basis of market forces, that is demand and supply. Under the capitalism, people are free to consume, produce and exchange of the goods, and there is no interference. Socialism, all economic activities, they are under the government. The government is the central planning authority and the people cannot have private property. Mixed economy, socialism is present in China, capitalism is present in America. Mixed economy, like in Indian economy, is a mixed economy. There is a coexistence of the public sector as well as of the private sectors. Some economic activities are controlled by the government, other are left to the discretion of the people. To run the economy, various economic policies are formulated, like the monetary policy. The objective is to control the supply of money to bring the stability in the economy. Fiscal policy is concerned with the expenditure and revenue policy of the government. Price policy, how the price will be determined in the economy, whether it will be controlled by the government, whether it will be determined by the demand and supply forces. Economic planning, how we are going to grow our economy through planning, and how we are going to maintain the international liquidity. Now we are clear with the subject matter of the economics. Now we will understand what is the nature of the economics. Is it science? Is it art? If it is science, is it positive? Is it normative? First of all, we will clarify whether economics is a science. So, before understanding economics is a science, we will understand what is science. Science is what? Science is a systematic. Systematic means the things are done in a systematic manner. Science is a systematic study of body of knowledge concerning the relationship between the cause and effect of a particular phenomena. Like it established the relationship between the cause and effect. This is the cause, this is the effect. Like Newton sitting under the tree of apple, he saw the apple was coming down. So he studied why the apple was coming down, why the apple was falling down, not going upward. So he considered it is due to theory of gravitational force, the apple is coming down. In economics, we have to accumulate and classify and analyze the facts systematically to understand what is the cause and what is the effect. So what are the features of a science? Observation of facts, then these facts they are measured, then they are explained, then the validity of the law is checked. On the basis of the characteristics of science, could we say economics is a science? First, observation of facts. In economics, fact relating to the economic activities they are observed. Like according to the law of demand, other things remaining the same, there is an inverse relationship between the price and demand. The organization reduce the price and see the impact of reduce the price on the demand. So here the facts they are observed. Measurement, facts are also measured. If we see this much is the change in the price, how much is the change in the demand? Explanation, same is put to the systematic study, establish the relationship between the cause and effects. So here we are going to understand the change in price is the cause and what is the effect, change in demand. So validity of law is checked on the basis of real assumption. And if we make the production on the basis of the law which comes true, then we say it is a science. Science has two branches, natural and social sciences. Like physics and chemistry, they have the natural science and their principles they are universal applicable, but economics is a social science. It is not like exact science like physics and chemistry. So some economists they say economics is a social science, but some economists they say economics is not a science. The economists who say economics is a science, economics is a systematic study, because here we are going to study the interrelated activities, consumption, production and exchange. And here we also collect the data regarding the economic activities and we observe these data. And scientific laws like the law of economics such as law of demand, law of supply, law of diminishing marginal utility, they are scientific laws. Law of demand states, as the other things remaining the same, there is an inverse relationship between the price and demand. And the validity of the life, every science verifies the validity of the law if they are based on real assumption. If the prediction on the basis of that come true, then we say that law is valid. Even many laws like law of diminishing return, law of diminishing marginal utility, they are based on the real experience of the law and they are valid. So we could say economics is a social science. It is a systematic study of the economic activities of the human beings which are based on scientific law. But some economists they say economics is not a natural science. There is a difference among the economists. And like the law of gravitation in physics, it's universal applicable. But on the other hand, the law of economics, they are not exactly perfect. They are mere statement of tendency. Law of demand will be valid only if other things remaining the same. There is no change in the income, taste and preferences, they are constant. And the law of natural science, they have universal applicability, but that is not true for the law of economics. And natural scientists can verify the truth of law, but for the law of economics, because they lack universal application, the truth cannot be verified. So economics is not a natural science. Now the question arises, is economics a positive science? Positive science means the science which studies in accurate and true description of the event as they occur. Positive science means we are describing the things as they are. Senior Milton Friedman and Robbins say economics is a positive science. It studies what is, what it was, and what it will. The economist who says economics is a positive science, they say if we consider economics is a positive science because it describes the phenomena as it is, so it is a logical. Normative science is more emotional. Normative science concerned, it should be in this manner, so it is more emotional, and positive science is more logical. And here we are going to, if we are going to consider the positive and normative, that is a separate issue. But if we consider it a positive science, by division of labor we could increase the efficiency. And if we consider it a positive science, it will be more uniform and there will be no biasness. And there is a formulation of theory, because we could make the theories understand what is the relationship between the facts, if we consider it as a positive science. But some economists like Marshall, Pigou, Hawtrey and Wolff, they say it's a normative science. Normative science means which determine the norms or value ideals. Its object is to provide solution to the problem. The policy should have been designed in such manner, then it should have been more beneficial. It is normative. Argument in favor of normative, because they say economics is a normative science, it will be more useful. So we could frame out those policy which are more practical and more useful and more economical, and we could approach the more realistic approach. Now the question, economics is both positive science as well as normative science. Now the question is economics an art? Art is the practical application of the knowledge for achieving the definite ends. Like we all know about the concepts of the economics, how we are going to use these economic concepts, the problem which we are facing. So that is the art. According to J.M. Keynes, it is the applied. He called the economics applied economics. Marshall and Pigou say economics is science as well as an art. But Wallace, Cornett and Robbins say it's not an art. Those who said it is a art, they say economics could be more useful if the people are able to use the economics concept to solving the problems of economics. The realistic situation, because here they are using their knowledge of economics to solving the realistic problem. So it is an art. So and definitely by applying the economic theories and concepts to the practical problem, so that is a practical basis of assumption. And here we could verify the economic theories when we apply to the real situations. But some economists, they say economics is not an art. Science and art, they are different. Economic problem, they are not purely economic. They are more influenced by political, social and religious nature. So we cannot say economics is an art. Economics is treated as an art, then different economists, they will frame different policy and suggest different measures, and that will be a chaos. And economic cannot be made use of seeking immediate solution to the economic problem. So in the conclusion, we could say economics is both science as well as an art. So what are the limitation? Economics deals with the activities of the human beings. It does not study the lifeless things. It does not study animals. It does not study the activities of the birds. It also study the real man, not an economic man. It also study of average man. It does not take the person who live like the extraordinary persons, like the criminals, miser, lunatics. It studies, because there is a difference. Some says economics should be focusing on the study of the person who are living in the society, but Robin says we should also consider the person who are living outside the society also. And economics should concern itself with the activities of the which are related to limited means. Economics is a social science and art. Social science, it is both normative and positive science, but norms, they are not set by the economists, they are set by the politicians. And economics law, though they are scientific, but they are not exactly as the law of natural science. That is the limitation of the